When I stepped up from a homeowner log splitter to a commercial log splitter, the biggest surprise was that the commercial splitter does not have more power.
All right, so my last firewood video ended with me not being able to split this gnarly piece of wood here. I mean, it's for a giant limb entered a giant tree and it wouldn't split. So let's see if I have a better result today.
Hey, it's Brock here with Rock Hill Farm, and today I'm going to be splitting some firewood, and I'm going to do an initial review on this Bilt Hard Log Splitter. Now, with the YouTube channel that I have, I get emails every single day from companies asking me to review their product. 90% of those products I turn down. When I do take a product like this from a company, I ask myself a couple questions. Would I buy this? Would my viewers be interested in this? And with this product, the answer is yes. The reason that the answer is yes is that this has really high splitting force on a simple homeowner log splitter at an affordable price. So you guys know that I love the Easton-made log splitters. This is my 1222. This is an amazing piece of equipment to bust out a lot of firewood really quickly and take all the hard work out of it. But the feedback I get from you guys is that for a lot of you, you're not in the market for a splitter that costs north of $10,000. And I totally connect with that, because when I bought this property, I didn't have a YouTube channel and I wanted to split firewood. So I bought a homeowner log splitter similar to the one down here, although mine didn't have that much splitting force. Because I already have those other splitters, I will use this for resplits, because with a big box wedge, you don't always get the size pieces that you're looking for. The other possibility is that this splitter might be better than any of my other splitters for these really big rounds that are hard to split. Your commercial splitters are 100% focused on speed and efficiency, but the trade-off for that is splitting force. So my commercial splitters up there with those short cycle times only have like 12 to 20 tons of splitting force. I think the 1222, the 22 part might be that it has 22 tons of splitting force. I don't remember for sure. This affordable splitter has 35 tons of splitting force. Now my question is, does that splitting force only exist on a spec sheet, or will it really handle the big stuff? I'm about to fire this up and start splitting, but I just want to show it to you real quick. It's a very simple piece of equipment, and this design has been repeated by every brand out there because it's so simple and it just works. So it's in the horizontal orientation right now. You pull this pin, grab this handle, you can stand it up and split vertically. It's got this bar right here that it mounts to is your hydraulic reservoir. Your operator control is on this side. On the forward stroke, you have to hold the lever, but then it does have auto return, which is a good feature. It's got a huge hydraulic cylinder that drives your wedge. It's got a nice tall 8-inch wedge, which is pretty good for this type of splitter. It's got a 301cc Bilt Hard engine. I believe this engine is 10 horsepower, which, you know, most of my equipment in this category has that 10 to 14 horsepower engine. Even my commercial splitters, I believe, are running 14 horsepower engines. I really don't think, I think if you've got a good hydraulic pump, you don't need that big of an engine to drive a splitter. If I had one complaint for the companies that make this type of splitter, it is the shelf. There are a million things you can do to make a splitter better or worse, but a lot of those things cost a lot of money. Like, you could say, I wish this splitter had a hydraulic log lift. Well, you're gonna add a ton of expense to put a log lift on it. But I don't think it would be that expensive to double the size of this shelf. How much would it cost the company to have that shelf come out 18 inches instead of 8 inches? And that's the kind of thing, I mean, would you pay an extra $20 for a splitter so that it had a bigger shelf? Because I don't think it would cost more than that. So having a larger engine would be an expensive upgrade. Having a bigger hydraulic pump would be an expensive upgrade. Bigger wheels, expensive upgrade. Any kind of hydraulic upgrade is expensive, so I get why they don't do it. But when Bilt Hard watches this video, that's the only thing I would say. Make that shelf twice as big. And as a matter of fact, I would say it should stick out pretty much even with your fender, so that you're not making it any wider or causing yourself any problem like that, and you'll be good. Something else I've ran into with this type of splitter, and I never had a problem with it, but a lot of people talked about it, is it would be nice to have a plate that kind of covers your hydraulic filter and these hoses, because over time you're gonna drop chunks of wood on these, and a little bit of protection would be nice. And again, I'm making suggestions that makes the equipment a little bit more expensive, but those are a couple things I would highlight as areas for improvement on a splitter in this price range. So right now I'm gonna start it. See, we've got choke on, gas on. I'm gonna let it run and go get a firewood tote. I'd say she ought to be good and warmed up. Let's see how it does. We're starting with the small stuff on purpose, and we'll work our way up to the big stuff. So when they offered me this splitter, I went to Tractor Supply and Lowe's and Home Depot, and I looked at the price of this splitter compared to all of those homeowner grade splitters that you can buy in front of the box stores. And I compared tonnage, I looked over the build quality, the size of the engine, and the price. And I think this is a very competitive model. Like if you go to Tractor Supply right now, you can get a splitter for the same price as this. This is like a $1,700 splitter. $1,700, you can get a splitter with less splitting force, like a 28 ton. Still at Tractor Supply, you can get one with 40 tons of splitting force, but that's a $2,700 splitter, and it's still basically the same as this. It's just more powerful, and it costs a lot more. So I think within the homeowner splitter category, this could be a good choice.
Now this splitter costs $1,700, but for about an extra $150, you can upgrade this splitter to have even more engine horsepower and more splitting force. So that next size bigger than this from the same brand, your splitting force goes from 35 tons up to 40 tons, and your engine horsepower goes from 10 horsepower up to 13 horsepower. So pretty reasonable if you want to go just a little bit bigger.
This is some wood I split with the mini skid steer mounted splitter, and it doesn't chunk it down small as good. So this will be re-split. I have quite a bit of this small stuff to split, but it's going to be repetitive. So I'll shut the camera off, split all this little stuff, then we'll try the splitter on something bigger. All right, so my last firewood video ended with me not being able to split this gnarly piece of wood here. I mean, it's for a giant limb entered a giant tree, and it wouldn't split. So let's see if I have a better result today. Well, that split, but it kind of just nibbled off the edge. All right, you can take it for what it's worth, but this splitter just split what my other one couldn't. Now, before I went and got this piece, I was thinking to myself, this thing is so slow. And it'd been a while since I had a homeowner splitter, and I forgot how slow they are. But that's the trade-off, you know? You're not getting a commercial splitter for a homeowner splitter price. But if what you want is splitting force, these splitters really do have more power than almost any of the other splitters I've ran. So I've been on this property for over 5 years now, and I spent all that time trying to figure out what is the best way to split really big rounds. And I've yet to find an easy way to do it. I've found about 6 or 7 hard ways, and that may be because all there are is hard ways. But we're gonna see how this compares. And I've done it this way before, but it's been a while. This is your chair. Although I usually do this on my knees. Some people say they do it on a chair, on a bucket for a chair. I'm gonna try this round for a chair. You know, rolling these around will keep you young. I don't have to go to the gym if I just come out here and move these more often. See, everyone always says do this sitting on a bucket. Now, trying to move this is way down here. I don't like that. For me, if you're gonna split like this, I don't know if there's a better way than on your knees. All right, so everyone's situation's different. When I bought this property and I didn't have a YouTube channel, I bought a splitter like this. I split the small stuff standing up. I split the big stuff on my knees. As much as I said this is the best way to do it down on your knees, I'd prefer to stand up. So I think what I would do is bring all my big rounds over here, take the splitter vertical, chuck them down into pieces this size that you can easily pick up and set on the splitter. Then I would put the splitter back horizontal and do my re-splitting. Because there's no reason, like this piece needs split here again and here. Needs split 2 more times for every piece this size. I think I'd rather do that part standing up. Now me personally, this would be fine for a re-splitter. I think for pieces this size, I would still probably use the one that mounts on the front of the mini skid. That's the most convenient thing. Bulk firewood processing through the commercial splitter. But this is pretty good for stuff that nothing else on the property will split. So that's my take on it. So I appreciate you taking time to watch the video. I'll put links on the screen to a couple more of our videos, and I'll see you next time.